Hey everybody, welcome to Ticket Stubs and Popcorn. I'm Peter.
I'm Frank. How's it going?
And you know what we're doing here. We pick an actor.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
We pick an actor. And we each give you our 3 favorite performances by that actor.
For some reason people care.
That's right.
Well, not a lot. We need more.
No, exactly.
We're degrade more people care.
Today's
just listen. Who are we doing today?
Today's actor is Vin Diesel.
He's great. You know, before we do that though, I'm going to ask you a question that came courtesy of friend of the show and good friend of mine, Niff. So, Niff's question was, if you could be a slasher, like slasher movie kind of thing, like not a character in it, but which slasher would you want to be? You want to be Freddy? You want to be Jason? Like, who do you want to?
You know, I was just about to say thank you, Niff, for the question, and all of a sudden now I'm like,
damn it, Niff!
Boy, do I want to thank you? Well, thank you anyway.
Yeah, seriously. So that's a fun one, I think.
All right, let me think about that one.
I know, right? Because you're a big slasher movie guy.
That's an interesting one.
And I
can't tell you the last time I've seen a slasher
right?
movie.
So
they were in vogue at a certain time in my life, for sure. But okay.
All right. So Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel.
We
got Vin Diesel.
So let's do it. Tell me about Vin.
Well, you know, let me just when we pulled his name out of the popcorn bucket, it was exciting because we haven't done an actor quite like Vin Diesel yet.
So
a lot of them.
This works out because Fast 9 just came out. So
that's true.
So
that's true. Okay. You want me to start?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think Vin Diesel sometimes gets stereotyped.
You know what? For good reason, I'm afraid.
Possibly so. But I do think he might be a little better than sometimes we think. And let me just start off by saying my first pick is a movie that I just rewatched, the last couple days, and I've kind of forgotten how good he is in the movie. Some of these movies that I'm going to be picking are not necessarily great movies, but I do like and appreciate his performances.
We do manage to find little nuggets in bad movies with good performances, and the movie's just bad around.
There's always one. And this is probably, I'm going to say that this one is actually my favorite Vin Diesel movie, and it's probably not on many people's list. It's his first movie. It's called Strays, and he unbelievably, he wrote, produced, and directed, as well as starred in this movie.
Oh, wow.
And
he's a quadruple threat.
And
he could get no one else to participate.
I enjoy it. The movie, like I said, has its flaws. It's a little cookie cutter.
It's about a guy with a cat fetish.
You got it.
Seen those.
Yeah.
I have often written, directed, and produced my own films about my cat fetish, but
I've got 6
totally different.
That's just
someone is doing my 3 best roles and picking that one in an alternate universe, in the multiverse, as it were.
You said it.
So
in this movie, Strays, Vin Diesel plays a character who is a part-time drug dealer. He doesn't do it as his job. He just does it as to maybe supplement his income, make his life a little easier, something like that. He's got it. He's got that going on. He is interested in keeping his body in shape, but there still is this element of this drugs is a lot of alcohol consumption.
Who else is in this movie?
I can't tell you. I just watched.
Are the
it a
credits
couple
just
months
like
ago.
my cousin Dave?
Yeah, no,
you
he's
know,
got some.
My good friend catering.
no, he's got some friends in the movie, so I don't know if they are actual friends in real life. Mike Epps is in this.
Okay.
And that's about all I can really remember.
The name co-star.
Yeah. So he's got like 3 or 4 friends, and he's close with them. And what they do is every night they do the same thing. They go out. They're only interested in having a good time. So whether that's a little bit of drugs, a little bit of drinking, and one-night stands. And that's all they're doing. And
little boozing, little sniffing, little whoring, like you do.
That's all it is. I don't know if he's even a bouncer. He hangs around those kind of places, but you don't really see him working. And this contributes to him being unhappy. He's the only one of his friends who seems to want to change, and it's slowly hitting him like this. He's not getting anywhere, and he doesn't really like it. And so he's trying to change. The 3 or 4 of his friends have no interest in changing at all. So
because they're drinking, smoking, and whoring.
He just keeps. They keep hanging out together. So he's still in that element, the one that he doesn't care for anymore, and they all seem to need his apartment, access to his apartment, for whatever reasons. He's like the catalyst for his friend. He's the one with the personality, and so they're hanging out there and that sort of thing, and which just makes it tougher for him to try to change.
Called stray.
Strays with an S on the end, plural. With an S. He feels that he and his friends are like strays, and they weren't. I don't want to say properly raised. He talks about that, about childhood, lack of a father figure, things like that one. He does talk about it. And so he refers to himself and his friends as strays. Right. And so he wants to make this change. He meets a girl a few buildings over in New York. And she's a little, I don't want to say higher class. That doesn't sound right, but she is. She has a better breeding. She has a family support somewhere else. She's moved to the city. He's never. Yeah. That's where he's been all his life, and he doesn't have a great relationship with his mother, who seems to be the only family relationship that he has. And it's a wonderful little performance by him. Like I said, the movie said one thing I will give this movie credit for, and it doesn't have the ending you expected. As it's getting toward the end, you expect this Hollywood kind of pat, maybe a trite ending. And it doesn't really. And and all of a sudden, I remember when I just saw it again, and I was like, "Oh, I like that ending." I forgot that it didn't have
the Goodwill Hunting ending.
Yeah, just that thing where you go, "Oh yeah, of course that makes sense,"
All right, cool.
So that one I liked. Strays.
All right.
And he wrote it. I don't know. It's a while ago. It's like 97.
Now, a lot of times when you mention a movie that I haven't seen before, I'll be, you know what? I'm going to check it out. I'm probably not going to check this out.
Check it out. It might be worth it. Yeah. No, the movie. It's worth seeing for Vin Diesel only because you go,
just to see him actually acting.
Yeah, or at least trying to act and trying to do something, because he's involved in every aspect of this movie.
Okay.
So. If you keep that in mind, you'll probably appreciate it a little more.
All right, that's
Anyway.
fair
Um,
defense. What's next?
Then, now I got to think. What do I got? Oh, Boiler Room,
Okay.
which is another fairly early in his career. And the thing about Vin Diesel is he has a look.
Yeah.
And that look is pretty much with him all the time. It's not like
Well,
you
I
go,
think-
oh, he grew his hair, or oh, he's
I can't picture it
he's
with
put
hair.
on some weight, or oh, he's kind of got that same look all the time.
I can't picturing him with hair is kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna put hair on a Mr. Potato Head.
Why not?
Or I think that it would just look like, even if he grew out his own hair, and I don't know what his
Yeah, I'm not
follicle
sure. I'm
situation
not
is.
sure what he
Like,
can do.
I
but,
don't. It would look fake. I mean, because he's
yeah.
so.
Oh, definitely,
It would look totally
definitely.
fake.
It would just look like
Like when you see Bruce Willis.
or when you see Samuel L. Jackson or Bruce Willis, and they put a wig on.
Yeah.
And you go,
you're like,
oh well,
nah.
that's interesting, and you go, it doesn't look real. It's
Yeah.
interesting, but
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so in this movie, he's got his same look. He looks the same, except
He's
for
in a
one thing: he's in a suit and a tie all the time, which makes you look at him a little differently, because he's a salesman in this
Yeah.
one, and he's making pitches mostly on the phone, and he's got a couple of good scenes where he makes the sale, we'll say, where he makes this incredible pitch,
Mhm.
and and it works, and everybody in the room just applauds. Hey, that was great. But it's a little bit of good acting too.
Yeah.
It's not the movie. It's not that great. I mean, the funny thing is, I watched it again recently, in preparation for this one, and I remember, starting it off, and I'm like, man, Glenn Ross is so much better. And I was like, Wall Street is so much better.
Wolf of Wall Street
all
is so
these
much.
guys
Wolf
are
of
like
Wall Street is the same story.
Stock. They're
It's
like
the same
selling
guy.
stocks, and that's what it is. But the pressure and the sales bits are very similar to the Glenn Ross. So when you're watching it, that's what I thought of. Was I said, boy, the movie Glenn Ross is so much better, or Wall Street's better. And within a couple of minutes, they actually reference the movie Glenn Ross.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like they even tell them, because the
It's
main
just
character
short.
is Giovanni Ribisi, so they're prepping him for this new job or potential new job, and so they're like, oh, it's just like Glenn Ross. And I said, that's so funny, because that's what I just thought of. And then I'm like, it's a lot like Wall Street. Well, then there's a scene in the movie where these, like, for lack of a better term, I don't know, just frat boys, just
Yeah.
a bunch of crazy drunk
Bros.
white boys who are just hanging around. Well, they're sitting there and they're watching Wall Street on tape.
Is it the
and-
greed is good scene?
They're all like have it memorized. So each character in the movie is like saying a 5-minute long spiel, verbatim from the thing. And so it's nothing original, but it's good to see. It was good for me to see Vin Diesel do something a little different, look a little different,
Yeah.
not come across as one-dimensional. But it's also because there are other characters in the movie, so he's not on the screen all the time. But the other thing I liked about the movie is he's a little in denial too, because Giovanni Ribisi is he's fallen into the whole thing too, the get rich quick thing, but he's a little smarter than the rest of the people in the office, so he's figuring out stuff. Like, how is this legal? But how is it actually happening? How are they making money? It doesn't, you know what I mean? If we're going against what the SEC is saying, you know, Lee, how can we be paying more than we're allowed to? You know, stuff like this. And the what's his name? Chris Varick or something like that one. That's the Vin Diesel character. He's kind of in denial. So the only one who Giovanni Ribisi, that character, will talk to about his questioning the whole thing is the Vin Diesel character. And he said, like, how are they doing this though? Like, how is this legal? How is this working? He's just like in complete denial. Don't ask questions. I don't ask. Just accept it. I'm a millionaire. Just go with that one. I don't want anything to rock the boat.
It reminds me of that old Saturday Night Live sketch where they're doing a commercial like similar to the old Citibank commercials.
Oh yeah.
But they make change. So if you need, if you've got a quarter, you need 2 dimes and a nickel, we can do that for you. And they're given all versions of 30 cents. We can do 2 dimes, a nickel, and 5 pennies. We can do that for you. And and then it's just like, and people ask us, how do you make money? And they're like, volume, which makes no sense at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if someone gives you 2 quarters, you're going to give them 50 cents
Yeah,
instead?
it's
Wow.
crazy. Like there's not that's their business minus volume, which is just insane.
Yeah, well,
so making change.
So
I
like this one because it's a little different, and he's a little, like I said,
he gets to kind of
he's not a hero. He's in denial in this one, just like everybody else seems to be, and it's easier for him. Just keep going. Just don't say a thing. Just keep rolling along, and we'll be fine. So I like that performance.
Right,
That's
cool.
a little different. And then
And
I want to
the third
say
one.
my third one is Pitch Black, where he plays Riddick. It's the first one. He's an anti-hero, which probably isn't too much of a shock, but he's. I like him in this one because it hasn't gotten over the top yet. You know what I mean? His character and his performance is almost
it's a little easier
like
to
downplayed
suspend
almost.
disbelief.
Yeah, his performance almost like downplayed a little bit. He's this anti-hero, but he's still, there is still a moral compass there. Like there are things he won't do or he doesn't want to do, and I know that franchise has a few sequels.
Did they do? What did they do? They did like.
I think at least 2
There's
others.
Riddick. There's what's the other one?
There's one where they had like a like a compilation, maybe. I forget.
I don't know. I never got into those. I was not a big.
I'm not a big. I didn't. I'll be honest. I don't care for the movie, but I like his performance, and I'll be honest. I do have some trouble getting on board some of his. We'll just say more recent films. I guess I'm not a big. And I've said this before for some other reason, for some other actor maybe. I'm not a big Fast and Furious fan. I don't really. So, I'm not into that. The only time I could honestly say I was a little excited was when they actually were following the Hobbs and Shaw characters, which were completely different from the original ones anyway. It's Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham. So he's not even in it at that point. I mean, Vin Diesel's not even in it at that point. But I'm just not a big fan of some of those other movies. I do think he might. I do think he could be capable if they used him in the right way, maybe to be in some. To be in a good film and to give a good performance. I found those three I picked. I did like his performance. I will not say that I didn't like his performance in any movie, because I do like his performances in those 3 movies. What would I try to rally the troops and say, hey, everybody, you got to watch these 3 movies all the time? Yeah, I don't know. It's, movies are a little limited, but I appreciate watching him in those 3 movies because it's not maybe what the stereotype is.
All right, cool. Just a quick reminder, folks, to like and subscribe if you would. Also, check out the podcast if this
podcast is good.
Isn't working for you. So,
if you're driving to work,
exactly. So, you're at the gym. So,
if you're Vin Diesel and you're working out at the gym,
sure.
Check out our podcast.
I think, like, I'm not gonna lie, when the Vin Diesel ticket came up out of the box,
I agree.
Out of the bucket,
I think I felt this like silent groan from both of us.
I'm
in
just
a way,
like,
but
I guess we'll do it because he doesn't. There's not he's got a lot of credits, but there's not a lot of like stuff. And the Fast and Furious franchise is, I don't know, like the first couple are fine, but it's just like it's sort of, and they suit a purpose. And again, if I like a good car-defined physics movie as well as the next guy. I don't. But each one, they're all interchangeable for me. You could put me down in front of one of them and I'd be just like, okay, I don't care what's happening with these other people. They're just going to drive really fast and solve a problem. And they're not, they're not acting movies. He's not, he doesn't need to really act in them, which is why I'm gonna start off my 3 with Boiler Room, because he actually has to sort of kind of act.
Exactly.
Which is kind of nice, and which makes
it's not terrible. Either.
He's not terrible.
Not at all.
And it's one of those things where you look at him and you think, oh, look at that. He's just a big, huge guy, and he's
he's wearing a button-down shirt this time.
But that's the thing. It's just like you think, oh, so it makes total sense for this, musclehead guy to always be in these Fast and Furious movies because he's an action star. He's that guy. He's Riddick. He's doing the Triple X. The movies. The Extreme, whatever. There was one Triple X, Xander Cage, or something like that. So he's always going to do this stuff. But to see him like acting like actually having to act, is kind of refreshing.
I agree.
And you sort of wish he would just like, please just stop doing the damn Fast and Furious movies and actually act, because you could.
I think you can.
Yeah, I think you can. Yeah. And if you're telling me, Strays he's actually acting, it's just like, all right, cool. I'll, check that out. Yeah. And I'm sure that the Fast and Furious stuff is a nice big paycheck and all that. And he's going to make a ton of money.
Done well with like 2 or 3 different franchises that have had, and maybe in the case of Fast and Furious, an unbelievable amount of sequels.
Yeah, I mean, and then there's a 10th coming. So, and again, I don't begrudge the guy.
I don't either.
I don't either.
My goodness, that's great for him.
Great for him. Yeah. But I just think that it would be. I would like to see, a little bit more of what he could do, because he displayed it in Boiler Room, which is a mediocre movie. Wolf of Wall Street did that very story, better, because it's the same, churning situation. It's Jordan
universe.
Belfort. It's that same. Yeah. It's like the same guy, Jordan Belfort.
Yeah.
It's that same.
So
it would be nice to see him do something else, do more of Boiler Room. And it's weird because my second one, where he actually acts and I cry every damn time when I watch this movie, is Iron Giant.
Iron Giant,
That's my next one, where he does voice work for a robot, and he gets more out of that performance than I think he does in 9 Fast and Furious movies, and it's such a great performance.
It was my number 4. I was going to go with it, but then I was thinking, maybe Frank might go with this, and then that'll be okay. No,
yeah, actually, that was the first thing that came to my mind when
When
we pulled
we
them out
pulled
of
the ticket,
bucket. I'm
yeah.
just like, because that's really great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember watching it with my youngest son, and I was just like, "You want to see Daddy cry?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah."
Do you
And
want me
we
to
watched.
steal Daddy's wallet? No, not that kind of
There's
cry.
never anything in it. So, but yeah, Iron Giant just gets me every damn
Yeah.
time, and he does an amazing job in that, and that's just fantastic. And taking his voice work even further, I've got to go with Groot.
Okay.
And it's so amazing because he has one line
Literally
in all these movies that he's in, because he's in the Guardians movies and he's in the Avengers
He's
movies.
in the Avengers, right?
And it's literally just one line, but he manages, and again, it's a combination of whoever's directing him and his performance, but he's able to get some range out of 3 words in all those movies, and it conveys something, and they have emotional impact. And I'll talk again about how it raises a comic book movie and a comic book character to something that's better, and that it touches you. And it's those are great performances, and to show that he can do stuff like that, it's almost like, why are you doing these car movies, man? Like,
because they
it's
dropped a boatload of money on my front lawn.
But it's like you want to get Adam Sandler too and go, why are you doing stupid movies, man? Could you go back and watch?
I'm sorry, but
like,
I agree.
Punch Drunk Love. Go back and watch like Spanglish, where you acted.
There's a few where you exactly
where you've actually seen that this person has got some acting chops.
Yeah,
and it's just like, damn, I want to see more of that guy. I want to see more of the Boiler Room guy and less of Fast and Furious guy.
I do think Vin Diesel is capable of more. Whether or not he's getting those offers, who knows? But the thing is, the other thing though that I like about the Groot character, which may have a lot to do with CGI and this sort of thing, is I love it when he's the teenage Groot, get the attitude, the whole bit, because now he has to like start up again as the sprout, and he's growing, and
he's like, I am Groot, and they're like, whoa, what's the language there, buddy? I mean, that's just, and you know it. You know a teenager for 5 seconds. You know what that I am Groot really means. He's trying to play his video game. So I mean, Vin Diesel, he's got a lot of credits, but he doesn't have a lot of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
And it's too bad, because
I understand what you're saying.
Like, dial back the driving stuff and do a little bit more with the Boiler Room stuff, which is an older movie, but it's just like, come on, man, you can do it. And now, I mean, the more I'm talking about it, it's just like, maybe I'll check out Strays, just to see.
I mean, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but an hour and a half, maybe.
What the heck? Movie. Why not?
You've wasted more time on that on sillier things.
Oh God, yes. Oh no. So those are that's kind of how I'm feeling about Vin Diesel. It's
and it is not it's not a knock against him. I think we picked our movies for specific and good reason, because he's not doing in the movies we pick, or the roles that we pick. He's not doing that same stuff that he ends up doing.
I feel like that teacher that I've come across a couple of times when I was a kid, and
you're capable of so much
that's
more.
The thing. They hand you back the paper, and it's just like, this was great, but I'd like to see you do what I think you're capable of. And it's just like, oh man, I'm in the 8th grade, and I would like to see you temper your expectations a little bit. So back off, Mrs. Black. She was a math teacher, but anyways, the point is that Vin can do better or do more. Let's broaden it a little bit.
More.
So. Anyway, slasher movie character. You thought I was going to let you off the hook.
Oh yeah,
slasher
movie.
Slasher movie character. Who would you be?
Wowee. Okay. Slasher movies. Okay.
Do you want me to buy you some
It
time? And I'll
definitely.
do
No,
mine,
no.
or you got
I
it?
think.
This is a great one.
I got a
Niff.
couple
I love it.
because there's
Because Niff is
obviously
crazy
like
with the horror movies.
it's
Those are her
obviously
comfort
like
food.
I don't know, 4 or 5 bigger name characters.
Yeah.
Anyways, bigger characters as slasher. This.
Yeah.
Your Freddy and Jason. There's
Yeah.
a lot
You
there.
got your Freddy, your Jason,
Yeah.
your Mike Myers,
I'm-
Michael Myers.
Michael Myers. That's right.
Mike Myers is the whole different
Yeah,
kind of
he's different.
terror.
I've got 2 in mind.
All right.
Okay, 2 in mind, and I'm not sure which one I make, but I'll mention them both because
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
up with
this isn't as
one of
serious as
Right.
what kind of potato are you? So you could just
Okay,
no, that's a different show.
that's right. Okay, I love a couple of them because they're a little different than the normal slashers.
All
Because
right.
we all know slashers in real life. Do we?
All right.
I like just because of the absurdity of it on the surface. It's Chucky from
Okay.
Child's Play, because I mean you got something that's just as bad and as evil, just not so formidable looking until you
Yeah.
start to like, and after a while you're like, he's possessed.
Not really. When else would you get to wear those little overalls?
Exactly. So I kind of like that one,
Chucky
and
is
I'll
a
be
good one,
honest,
yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I've seen. I can't tell you the last time I've seen any slasher movie, but or specifically,
Yeah.
Child's Play or whatever the other ones are, Bride of Chucky or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, that whole Chucky character is
Chucky,
kind
all
of
right, that's a
interesting.
good one. That's a good one.
And then the other one,
Who's your runner-up?
the other one, yeah, I would say that's probably first. The runner-up would be, and I'm picking this character for a reason more so than the other ones.
Okay.
Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw
Okay,
Massacre.
good one.
And the only reason I like it, because like what separates him from some of the others, I think what makes him interesting, what sets him apart, is that he actually has a support group. Like his family, he's got people who are there who are with him. The other ones, whether it's Freddy, Jason, or Chucky, a lot of times it's like, they don't have people rooting them on or helping them out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
Alright.
so I kind of like a little bit of that weirdness of the whole family dynamic.
Yeah. Okay.
In the
He's got someone
Texas
to ask him, "How was your
Chainsaw.
day?"
Exactly.
And then
Yeah. He's got
all
grandpa
want
if he
that.
wants
Right,
to.
yeah.
What the heck?
we all want that. We all want someone to say, "Hey, how was your day? How are you?"
Yeah, a place
You
to
know?
call home.
Yeah.
What the heck? You know what I mean?
Not why are you doing this, but
Exactly.
how are you doing?
Good for
Right?
you, son. Stuff
Exactly.
like that.
Someone to
Pat on the
support. You
shoulder.
found your passion.
You got it.
And you exercise that
I'm
passion,
gonna-
and that's all we want to
I'm
do.
gonna oil that chainsaw. For
Right?
you. Let me do something
do
for
it.
you.
You
We're
relax.
family. We do things for
That's
each
gotta
other.
be hot under there,
Tell me about it.
right?
Stitch him up a new mask.
That's so fun.
Tell me
Anyway,
about it.
all right.
That wasn't my question.
I,
I'm
no.
just answering the question.
Mine, I was kind of torn between 2 as well, but I did, make a choice. Torn between Leprechaun.
Oh, you
And,
see,
right?
I thought about
Right?
Leprechaun when I went
Because,
with Chucky.
But
yeah,
I ended up going with Freddy.
yeah.
Freddy Krueger, only because
No.
I think that Freddy is hilarious. He's he's got
Yeah,
some of the
yes.
best kill lines
Yes.
ever, and it gets better as you go through
Yeah.
the movies. And they're just funny. He just punctuates that with humor, and to
As
be
he's
honest,
puncturing, he's
Yeah.
punctuating.
and the first Nightmare on Elm Street is the first movie that scared the ever-living shit out of me.
Oh, okay.
I have to tell you,
Okay.
when in that first movie, when she's in the bed and then she's just like, she goes, up the wall, and she's trail of blood, and she's on the ceiling, and then splashed down. And that movie haunted me and I saw it in the Granada Theater, Malden, Massachusetts. I saw it. I paid $1 to see it, and that movie scared the shit out of me. So that movie has a part in my brain that just won't leave. And but Freddy is just, as you go along and see more of Freddy, he is just
he's got
hilarious.
More liberty than the others because let's be honest, Michael Myers doesn't really speak.
Right.
You know what I mean. Jason doesn't really speak. Leatherface doesn't really, you know. So to be able to give the character, that chance to be, whether it's snarky or wise, it adds another dimension.
Yeah,
let's face it. Yeah,
but it's also like I think that Freddy's kills are a lot more intimate. So having something to say, I think, whereas the others are just like machines, and their motivations are, different and very personal. But very personal. Yeah. So, but I would have to go Freddy. But Leprechaun was just
there's a nice.
Very close.
I think that we're in that right age group, and there is a few years anyway. But there's that span of, say, I don't know. I want to say Halloween might be like 78 maybe, because I want to say it was like a junior or something. But anyway, so say like between 78 and say 82 or 83 or 84, there's a good, whatever that is, 5 or 6 years in there.
Oh, they were.
But that's like the heyday.
Oh yeah.
Of
like
a well done slasher
movie. Yeah.
Like Texas Chainsaw is a little earlier, but it hits its stride in there. And
late 70s, the early 80s.
If you're into that, that's good. Then I know later on they kind of did a little rebirth where the Rob Zombie was getting involved. So there is
Rob Zombie stuff is pretty.
There is ones that are like with the intent to reboot franchises, that sort of thing. But that original, we'll say, 5 years or so, is a good. That's a great heyday for.
Closer to Halloween, we'll do a top 3 horror movie kind of thing.
Yeah,
that might be fun to broaden it like that.
Yeah, and a lot of them, let's face it, aren't too different in a lot of ways of the killing and the slashing. So sometimes it is slasher driven, that character. The thing is what's making some of them different.
Right.
So it's
the quality of those kills.
Thank you, Niff. That was a great
question. That was a great one, Niff. Thanks so much.
It starts to bring us down a whole other thing,
rabbit hole.
Did you start thinking about stuff that you hadn't thought of in a while.
Right. Let's do the
let's do the.
Well, you're grabbing the bucket. I had a couple of people reach out to me and ask me where I got the shirt I was wearing in the Robert Downey Jr. episode, the one that says it's don't settle for fame, strive for infamy.
Yeah.
So that's I got that Flock Designs. The only place I found them was on Instagram. They don't have like a website or anything.
Okay.
But I did have a couple people reach out to me on Facebook. They saw the thing. And, Flock Design, FLOCHDESIGNS. And so they don't put out. They've got this one shirt and that they put out. So I haven't seen anything recently, but find them on Instagram. There's a link to that shirt on Instagram. So, and that's not like a sponsor. There's just some people who are asking me. So if anyone reaches out, maybe I'll reach out to Flock Designs and I'll tell them that, hey, people are asking about that shirt.
Why not?
Give us a cut. But just sort of to throw that out there.
And just a reminder too, if you would like any merch.
Oh yeah, we got some of our merch too. Sure.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram and our podcast.
And I need more coffee.
Yeah.
So,
see what we got here.
Who do we got next? All right, cool.
Vin Diesel Jr.
I know, right? Vin Honk. That's not even a thing. So
wow.
look at that. That could be fun. That would be interesting.
Yes. Oh yeah.
All right. So
we can make anything.
We can make anything.
Yes.
Sort of interesting. So, all right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Frank,
And I'm Peter.
and this was Ticket Stubs and Popcorn.
Take care.
Bye-bye.